the latest news, national issues, the political scene, and conversations with prominent personalities. All these firsthand at the forefront. Good morning. I am Attorney Karen Jimeno. Abogado Raymond Fortun's fame started when he became the youngest defense lawyer and spokesperson during the impeachment trial of former President Joseph Estrada. He has been consistently in the limelight, taking on cases defending personalities unpopular to the public. Now, he's the defense lawyer of Director Darryl Yap, who was sued over cyberlibel cases filed by comedian TV host Vic Sotto over a controversial upcoming film. Why is Abogado Raymond Fortun the preferred defense lawyer of high-profile personalities in controversial cases? And is he preparing to pass his legacy to his two young sons who have both joined his law firm? Joining us this morning live at the BNC studio is high-profile abogado, Attorney Raymond Fortun. Good morning, Attorney Raymond.
Attorney Karen, good morning sa'yo.
So thank you so much for your time here today. First, a lot of people have heard of your name and they know of you, but they don't really know you personally. So we'll start by showing photos on our LED and give us a brief description of what they remind you of. So first, let's start with this. This is your family photo.
Yep, we're a family of, well, aside from my mother and my father, there are 6 of us in the family. Our eldest is a girl, and then after that, 5 brothers.
5 brothers.
I am the middle child.
And how many lawyers out of your whole family?
Just the 2 of us, Siegfried and me. One of my brothers is an OB gynecologist. The other 2 are in business.
And your father was an RTC judge, is that correct?
That's correct. He was the RTC judge, well, at the latest was of RTC Quezon City. And then, he went on to just be a judge on rotation until he retired.
So your father was also a lawyer. And your mother was also a lawyer?
That's correct.
Okay, so
Doon sila nagkita sa I think sa bar review.
Bar review, wow.
Yeah.
That was a hard time siguro to develop a relationship because you always have to study.
Oh, they should have been studying.
But it's pretty impressive. You have parents who are both lawyers and then a brother who's also a lawyer. What was it like growing up with parents who are both lawyers?
For me, it was a wonderful experience. No? Yung sitting at the dining table and you see exchanges. No, my father, my mother, my sister also actually passed the bar way back in 1981. Mm-hmm. And then my brother, no? And it was just so fascinating for me that they would be discussing the law, very emotional and very passionate about it, and yet magkakaibigan pa din sila.
So sometimes they have differing views.
Oh, most of the time they would have differing views, no? And that's what was so fascinating for me, the fact that, you know, we're one family and yet you would have differing ideas or opinions about a particular issue, and yet after you eat, they're all friends. Mm-hmm. The truth is, Attorney Karen, was that even during the impeachment of President Estrada, my father was pro-ERAP and my mother was anti-ERAP.
So magkaiba rin. But when it came to the merits, did they have differing views as well?
Yes, I think so. I mean, you know, you form your opinions based on the merits or what you believe to be the truth or the facts, no? And then that's it. Pero, you know, so we would have like family lunches and my mother would be very critical about the evidence, no? My father would be all praises for ERAP, no? Yung ganon eh. Mm-hmm. So, but still, we remained one family and we supported each other. That was what is important.
That's something I can relate to. I was also raised by parents who are both lawyers, and my sister is also a lawyer. And sometimes we do discuss legal matters, a lot of times as well. But
yes.
And it can be very different, and at the end of the day, you can just agree to disagree.
That's right. And still remain to support each other regardless of what your position is.
So your decision to become a lawyer, was it influenced by having parents that are both lawyers?
My father talaga, as early as high school, he was telling us, "Oh, all of you should be lawyers." And then ito pa, that all of you should go to Sisip Salazar, Hernandez and Gatmaitan. Talagang pati
Talagang may
yung law
requirement
office.
pa talaga kung saan kayo mag-work.
But this was the thing, Attorney Karen. No, I was already informed as early as law school that Sisip Salazar had this anti-nepotism policy.
Yes, especially if you have a parent who's a partner.
Or a brother was
Yes.
already there, no? But still, notwithstanding that, no, when I was studying in law school, still had this idea, makakapasok ako sa CSIP, and therefore I'm going to study so hard as if I was preparing to enter CSIP and preparing myself for CSIP. And
Grabe naman,
finally,
so far ahead. Usually sa law school pa lang, pero yun pati up to the work. So did you end up going to CSIP?
yes. In fact, they lifted their anti-nepotism policy just for me.
Wow! I also went to CSIP eventually, but now I can't remember if they had, and nepotism was not a problem for me because my parents didn't go to CSIP, but for you pala yung reason, bakit tinanggal yun?
Well, I was actually the third one who they had lifted the policy on. The first one was the wife of one of the partners at the time. And then the second one is actually Popo Lotilla, whose brother Juju was already with the firm
yes.
at the time.
When I worked in CSIP, Juju Lutilla became my colleague in the firm.
Right, and ako, I was
Interesting.
really informed from the very first interview, do you know that there's an anti-nepotism policy in this firm? And I said yes. And the next question was, so why are you here? Sabi ko, because I want to be interviewed so that you can appreciate me for who I am.
Oh, that's wonderful. And they ended up lifting it for you. What about law school? Did they require you to go to UP Law?
Yes.
Pareho rin tayo. Bawal man lang ako mag-entrance exam sa Atty or any other law
That's right.
school. So
That's
pareho,
right.
okay.
That's right. No, yung talagang, actually, I was not allowed to take any other entrance exam
Pareho
except
tayo.
LAE.
Yeah, same. And I was so worried, paano kung hindi ako pumasa ng UP Law?
Right, me
Yeah.
too.
Okay, so we can relate on certain matters. Okay, let's look at the next picture. So this is your wife,
My
Attorney
wife.
Carol. So,
We've been together for 30 years and going strong.
so for you, were you looking for a lawyer as a partner, or it just so happened na naging lawyer din ang asawa mo?
No. I wasn't looking for a lawyer at all. No. I don't know why. I always believe that the partner that you end up in life is somebody who our Lord chooses. So, ang totoo po niyan talaga is that she did not exhibit the things that I was looking for in a woman and a wife. I wanted somebody who was street smart, who was witty, who was probably even smarter than me. My wife was smart, but very simple, with very simple needs and desires. Medyo alaga ng mga magulang, no? So
hindi street smart, parang sheltered.
oh yes, very sheltered. I remember that she was making kwento that the parents would even arrange her clothes for her so that
Oh,
she would,
wow.
in going to work. No, ako, kahit na ano na lang bunutin ko, suot ko na. No, I mean, ganun akong klaseng tao. You go on the move and you don't have to worry about anybody else.
So given the contrast between the two of you, how did you get along, and then how did you meet?
Well, I believe that opposites attract. That's number one. No? So she really compliments me in the best kind of way. We met in a religious organization.
Not in law school,
I was
not
the
in work.
youth leader of that organization, and she was one of those who came in. And the truth was that when I first saw her, I didn't like her. I hated her.
Bakit?
Maarte magsalita, tapos maganda siya eh. Okay,
Yes, she
and I
is.
didn't want somebody who was overly pretty. I wanted somebody who was smart.
Okay, but it turns out that this is the person meant for you. But we heard that your wife survived a shooting attack in 2013.
Yes, that's
What
right.
happened there?
Well, somebody inabangan apparently was that there was already a casing being done. I had, as usual, a number of controversial cases that I was handling, and at that particular time, the one that comes up to my mind was I was the lawyer for one of the petitioners who was asking for the abolition and unconstitutionality of the PDAF.
Okay, so this might have been related to the case that you were handling at
I
that
would
time.
think so because if you're asking to declare the PDAF and the DAP, the Disbursement Acceleration Program, abolished, you're going to have a lot of people who were benefiting from that.
Yeah,
Real
that was a
pissed.
source of pork barrel before.
Certainly.
Okay, but at least no serious injuries after that.
If you take a look at the gunshot wound that my wife suffered, it was a miracle that she survived.
Oh, wow.
The bullet entered her neck and grazed her carotid artery by a mere 1 millimeter. If it
Oh,
was
my
just
goodness.
just a very, very slight movement to the left, she would have died.
And after that, you weren't traumatized. Did you ever consider leaving law practice
Oh,
because
yes.
of that? Oh, you
Actually,
did?
I did. I told my wife that after this, I wanted to just take care of her, stay in the house, have more time with her, and to stop practicing law. And she was the one who actually refused. She was the one who said, pag ginawa mo yan, edi nanalo na yung mga taong bumaril sa akin. I will not allow it. So sabi niya, you continue with what you're doing, we will persevere, we will survive.
That's really very admirable that, she's really correct. But to even say that despite almost losing her life, that's very admirable.
I really want to share, in fact, nga nung nangyari yon, nung gabi na yon, we were together in the ICU, iyak ako ng iyak, no, because I really felt that it should have been me. I felt that I should have been there when it happened. And she asked me, why are you crying? And I said, because I should have been the one. And she said, that's all right, I'll take a bullet for you.
Wow, talagang
Di lalo
true
ako umiyak.
Oh, wow,
Kasi
that is so
magulgul
touching.
talaga ako. No? And I mean, even up to now, and actually when I try to recollect that evening, what happened, that's the reason why I got out of photography. No, because I felt that yung being in the wedding photography business was taking my time so much away from family, and I said I would give it away. And that's
Okay.
exactly what
And
I did.
actually, you preempted the next picture because you were also popular for this business, weddings at work, where
Yes.
you were a very well-known wedding photographer.
Yes.
So you ended up giving this up after that incident where your wife had a shooting attack.
Yes, not only because it was taking too much time away from family. No? Weddings are usually Saturdays and Sundays. Wala pa dun yung mga prenup shoots. No? And Sabado, Linggo, if you're outside, then wala ka sa pamilya. No? And
Yeah.
that was really actually affecting also our relationship. Now, aside from that, the police really told me, attorney, if you were the target of this shooting attack, then you're exposing yourself because your wedding calendar is out there for people to see. And
That's
pwede kang
true.
abangan. No?
Yeah.
And madadamay pa yung mga tao who are innocent. So I
Yeah.
said, it's not a big issue for me. Besides, I was really looking for an exit strategy. At that time, I was already the 2009 Wedding Supplier of the Year industry-wide. So for me, I was really looking for a way to get out already because it was really just a passion. It was just a hobby for me. Lawyering was still the thing for me.
And it never distracted you from law practice.
It did not detract, although I would be first to admit that it did affect the time that I should be spending in court.
And right now, weddings at work, did someone continue this for you or you had to really close it completely?
That photography team, I just passed on all of my equipment and I left it to my teammates to continue with the business.
So it still exists up to now?
Not as Raymond Fortun Photography.
Yeah. But do you have a favorite wedding that you shot?
All of them are my favorites.
Talaga, no, nothing that stood out.
All of my couples are individuals and are all unique to me, and I really, I enjoy each and every one.
And let's look at the next picture. This is Opus Dei. So we heard that you're a keyboardist and choir leader for
The Opus Dei is a religious organization. It was founded by Saint Josemaria Escriva way back in 1929. It will be 100 years old in 2029. On the other hand, even before I joined that organization, I was already active in church. Way back in 1992, and because my mom told me so, I set up a church choir. And doon pa dun sa village ng parents ko. And I continued with that church choir even up to now. So I've been active in the church. I've been a choir leader and a keyboardist for 32 years.
I'm sure a lot of people don't know this about you because when they see you on TV being interviewed about a case, you seem so fierce and parang sobrang tapang. Hindi alam ng mga tao siguro na you're even in a choir. Can you give us an example of, or a sample of a song that you sing?
Well, my favorite is really, I Will Sing Forever by Bukas Palad Music Ministry. We usually sing that at the recessional portion. It's
Can you give us
basically
a
one
sample
slide.
of the...
I will sing forever of your love, O Lord. I will celebrate the wonders of your name.
Beautiful song. So up to now, you're active. Do you bring your family with you?
Yes.
To church?
Yes. As far as the schedule allow. Kasi yung isang choir, nililipat-lipat siya ng schedule eh. No? So, kasi minsan 10 o'clock, minsan sa 4:30 p.m., minsan sa 6 p.m. Sometimes we sing during the Saturday 6 p.m. masses. Very recently, we just had Simbang Gabi, of course, no? So we had schedules. And then last December 29 was the feast day of the Holy Family. So our parish is Holy Family Parish in Las Piñas, and we were the featured choir.
Let's look at this next picture because this is another side of you. So this is the Audax Super Radunur. And this is what? A bike ride that covers 200 to 400 kilometers.
200, okay. So Audax is the root word for the word audacious. It means to be brave. And Audax rides actually are more than 100 years old. This was organized by the very person who made the Tour de France.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So the concept is very simple. No? You ride a very long distance. You're on your own. You're self-sufficient. There will be nobody else except you. And of course, you're supposed to ride it with a lot of honor and self-sufficiency. So the Audax Philippines was created precisely for that purpose. It's for cyclists to get into long-distance cycling. You're on your own. Nobody's going to help you. If you need food, you have to provide for yourself. Drink, no. If you get in an accident, then you're on your own. There are time limits in order to finish the 200, the 300, the 400, and the 600 kilometers.
And they take days?
Like the 600, you have to finish it in 40 hours.
40 hours? So walang tulugan?
The 400
or you can stop to sleep?
Yes, diskarte mo na yon.
Oh, okay.
No, it's all a matter of strategy. Some people will actually just go all the way, 600 kilometers without sleeping. And that's your option. Now, the smarter ones, like myself, you try to do it fast at the start so that you would have like pondo, or enough leeway in order to take a rest, go to a hotel, check in, probably mga 4 hours, 5 hours, and then wake up a little bit refreshed and still be able to finish it within the cutoff period.
Amazing. And how did you even get into Audax?
I don't know. So, some of my friends in Camera Club of the Philippines once just said, let's go into cycling. And it progresses from that. You start first, hanggang kanto lang, no? And then after that, you go further and further. Before I know it, gusto ko nang umakyat ng Tagaytay. And then the satisfaction goes beyond that. And before you know it, you're already joining these really long distance events, no?
You're really a type A personality. I can see that. You excel in everything you do. And we heard that you're preparing now for a marathon?
That's correct. No? Last October, my law firm joined this triathlon pero relay. So somebody swam, and then I did the bike leg, and then one of my partners did the run. And then I took a look at it and I said, I think I'd want to also bike and run at the same time. I can't swim. My wife absolutely prohibits me from swimming. No? So, pero sabi ko,
why? Sorry, I'll just backtrack there. But why swimming? Why are you not allowed to swim?
Well, I think the records would show that there are a lot of more people who die during triathlon events during the swimming leg.
Part. Yes.
Okay, so sabi niya, but I was able to convince her, sabi ko, oh, you take a look at the cycling. Sa cycling, 40 kilometers lang, 90, o kung maximum 180. And I've done longer than that, 200, minsan nakaka 600 pa nga ako. So, and you have a course that is controlled, no? There are a lot of marshals in it. So sabi ko, mas better ito than ODAX. I'd be more safe here. And she agreed, and she allowed me.
That's impressive. At what, you're turning 61 and you're still now going to do a marathon, but you were able to do ODAX biking. Very impressive. So now let's go to a case that you're handling right now, another high-profile case. But without going into the merits of the case, can you tell us briefly what this case is about that actor Vic Sotto filed against Director Darryl Yap?
That's just central to it is that there is a movie being directed by Darryl Yap regarding the life of Pepsi Paloma. And of course, one of the highlights to that would be an alleged rape that occurred sometime in 1982. Now, there was a teaser that came out, and there was a prominent personality who was mentioned in the teaser. So that person, of course, will take umbrage to that.
And this film is currently still being directed and in the process of being made, or is it finished?
Yeah, all of the scenes have already been shot, so they are into post-production.
Post-production, but not completely done yet.
Yes, I think the music still has to be completed, and probably, I really don't know if there's a need to reshoot some of the scenes, but my understanding is that everything has been done.
And why did you accept this case?
Because I was approached, and I felt that I could help.
And you weren't
That's
worried
the thing
that...
about us lawyers, no? We have this obligation. But people don't realize this,
Yes,
but we have an obligation. It actually, the rules of court says it's a duty.
Yeah.
Regardless even of our own personal conviction as to the guilt or innocence of the accused. If we can help, and so long as the means that we utilize are both fair and honorable, we are obligated by law. Because if we lawyers are to make a judgment on a person's guilt or innocence, pag yung tao lumapit sa atin, sabihin nga, attorney, napatay ko yung tao, anong gagawin ko? Wala nang hahawak sa kanya. And that's not what the law is, no? Due process demands that every person is entitled to a lawyer of his choice.
That's true. And there's also this code of professional responsibility
Yes.
that requires lawyers to accept cases, and there are only a few exceptions on when you can decline.
Yes.
And in this case, there were 19 counts of cyber libel.
Yes.
Why so many?
Maybe there were 19 instances of the teaser being posted somewhere.
Okay.
I would not know.
And there are some speculations that there are politicians behind this because of the timing that the case was filed, or sorry, that the film is coming out when the elections are around the corner. Did you hear of any of these rumors as well?
And I heard the rumors. I cannot make any comment with regard to that because I am already subject to a gag order.
Yes. Can you tell us more about this gag order that the regional trial court issued?
Okay, actually it was Director Yap who asked for the gag order, more specifically because there would of course be disclosures during the case, and it might affect how the film is going to be accepted by the public. We did not want any portion of the film to be disclosed unnecessarily, and so it was best that all parties just keep mum about whatever's going to be filed, whatever's going to be discussed in the case, and also that there would be, as I mentioned, any unnecessary disclosures that might affect Director Yap's right to freedom of expression and to the outcome of the case of the movie.
The complainant in this case also filed a petition for habeas data.
Yes.
What was the aim of that petition for habeas data?
Well, by its very nature, the object is to find out what information Director Yap has, and if this information would be violative of his rights, then there would be his right to have it either amended or maybe even deleted or expunged.
So is Director Darryl worried that they are trying to get a copy of the movie before it is released to the public?
The petition itself speaks for itself.
Okay. And what can we expect in the upcoming weeks in relation to the case? So there was a hearing supposedly scheduled on January 15, tomorrow, and you asked to postpone this hearing?
Actually, we asked for its cancellation.
Okay.
Because we said that we had also concurrently filed a motion for consolidation of the petition for habeas data case with the cyberlibel complaints that Mr. Sotto had filed. We're invoking a particular provision in Administrative Matter 8-1-16-SC.
So this first hearing, when do you expect it to occur?
Yeah, it was moved by the trial court to Friday.
This coming Friday?
Yes.
Were you able to also get the media from being blocked in terms of the hearings, or will the media be allowed to attend the hearings?
Under previous decisions of the Supreme Court, the media would always be allowed, but only during the first few minutes of a trial. So I would think that at some point, the media would be asked to leave the courtroom. There is also a provision in the writ, in an application for writ of habeas data, wherein the matter can be heard in chambers.
Are you going to file a return of the writ before the hearing?
Yes, actually we are obligated to file the return by today, and we will do so.
And what can we expect in the upcoming weeks? Do you expect this to last for several months, the hearings, until a decision is reached?
Usually, by its very nature, a petition for writ of habeas data would be moving very quickly. On the other hand, the criminal complaints for cyberlibel undergoes a particular process, 60 days to file all of the evidences. The prosecutor has 60 days within which to resolve the same. And if there are any cases which are forwarded to the RTC based on a finding of probable cause, then the hearings may be pretty lengthy because of the evidences to be presented.
Yeah, so this can, up until it reaches the decision, it can take years.
Yes.
And do you see a possibility that the film will not be seen by the public?
I wouldn't want to comment on that. I think that is really all up to the courts on whatever parameters there would be, if there are any.
Okay, thank you so much, Attorney Raymond. And Attorney Raymond Fortun will be joined by his two sons, both young abogados, when At the Forefront returns after a short break. Welcome back at the Forefront. We're still with Attorney Raymond Fortun, but joining Attorney Raymond are his two younger mini-me's. Attorney Raymond Wilhelm Fortun. Good morning, Attorney Roy.
Good morning, Attorney Karen.
And the Fortun Bar Passer of 2024, Richard Leon Fortun. Good morning, Richie.
Good morning, Attorney Karen.
Si Richie very technical. Ayaw niya pang magpatawag na Attorney Richie kasi he hasn't signed the role of attorneys yet daw. Okay. But one, we want to find out more about your father's legal career, but we also want to know how well you know your father. So we'll have a legal pop quiz, and you'll have 20 seconds to answer. So you have to write down your answers. But Attorney Raymond, you also have to write down your answers so that we can compare kung sino sa kanila ang tama.
Okay.
So first question, name 5 celebrity clients of your dad. Timer starts now. Parang hirap na hirap sila, Attorney Roy and si Richie. Okay, sige, whatever you have right now, papers up.
Former client.
Okay.
Just
Show
also-
your answer, Attorney Raymond, your answers. Okay, tumama sila sa first. Ang galing naman yung first
Yes.
talagang, first that came to mind, Chris Aquino. So Chris, and then we have former President Estrada, Erap, Claudine Barreto, Willie Revillame. Okay, interesting. Vicky Bello and Gabby Concepcion.
Worried ako baka mamaya meron ako hindi binanggit sumama ang loob
Di bale. O kaya pala lampas ng 5. Okay. Top 3
Meron
dapat.
pang
Sorry, lampas ng 3. Okay. Name 5 political clients of your dad. Timer starts now. Si Richie sumuko na. Hindi mo na yung pen to pen. Okay. Mga politicians. Parang mas nahihirapan ang mga younger lawyers natin dito. Okay. Show your answers. Si Richie talaga suko. No, wala. Okay, Attorney Rowie, tama naman. Si Erap. Erap, JPE, and Bong Revilla. Okay, interesting. I think the common, is this during the, for JPE and Bong Revilla, is this in relation to the pork barrel or PDAF during the time of President Aquino III?
Si JPE, when he was questioning the EPIRA law.
Okay.
So he was campaigning to be a congressman at the time.
So he was not a defendant?
He was a petitioner. Yeah.
And for Bong Revilla?
Of course, during his plunder trial.
Okay, plunder. Okay. Name 3 pro bono cases of your dad. Timer starts now. Okay. Si Richie talaga, okay. So, mabuti na lang, hindi to bar exam. Okay. None, no answers for Attorney Rowie Audax. But this is in relation to pro bono cases.
Yes,
kasi
yes.
you also handle Audax ba?
Yes,
Tama
yes,
ba? Okay. So, at least merong one for Attorney
Hindi ko
Rowie.
nasulat yan
Anti-PDAF, Bandiola, and Yulo. Anti-PDAF, but then when you were defending Bong Revilla, was that not in defense of PDAF?
No.
Magkaiba yung issues there?
Yes.
Okay. So you have always been anti-PDAF?
Yes.
Bandiola is about?
That's a cyclist who was, this guy pointed a gun at him and binatukan.
I think I saw that in the news before. And then, Yulo?
Mrs. Yulo.
Mrs. Yulo?
Nanay ni Kaloy.
Ni Carlos Yulo. Okay.
Right.
Is this also recent?
Yes, very recent.
Ongoing pa ba ang case?
No, there's no case. Actually, I just helped her out because the public was bashing her for some
okay.
statements that she made.
Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. And next question. Ayan na, Richie, sana may makuha ka na. Among Philippine legal luminaries, who do you think does your dad consider the brightest? Timer starts now.
Personalities?
Yes,
Personalities.
people. Okay. Nakikita ko yung mga answers ni Richie and it is very blank. And for Attorney Rowie,
TV personalities?
Estrelito Mendoza.
TV personalities?
TV personalities, hindi naman. Legal
hindi ba?
luminaries.
Ay, legal luminaries.
Oo.
Mali yung sagot ko
Who do you consider the brightest sa
susulat ko
legal
na.
luminaries? Sige. Pero makikita rin ng mga tao yung naisip mo kung celebrities.
Oo, makikita.
Oo. Okay, sige. Oh, wow! Look at Attorney Rowie. Tama siya. Estelito Mendoza
Yeah.
and Titong Mendoza. So that's, for you, the brightest
Okay.
legal luminary.
Number 1 in the Philippines.
Wow! And with with so much conviction.
Yes.
And for artistas, you put here, you consider
The
the
brightest.
brightest Chris and Vice Ganda.
Yes.
In what way? Like not academically in terms of brightest in what sense?
Yeah, well, Chris, she's obviously well-bred and well-read. Si Vice, you can't be a good comedian unless you're smart.
Yeah, that's true. Even thinking of the punchlines, being witty in
Being
general.
quick.
Yeah.
Being very quick.
Yeah, that's true. I always say that about stand-up comedians as well.
Right.
I was thinking you have to be super smart to think of what
Be able
say.
to come out with repartees really fast.
Yeah. Okay, very good so far, Attorney Rowie. You are beating Richie. Among your dad's celebrated cases, which is the case he is most proud of? Timer starts now. So medyo mahirap din to. Okay, I think everyone has their answers ready.
Okay.
Um,
That's not the error case.
Oh, wow. Air up. And then
To
for,
give Rit-
what is that? Is that an answer
no.
or?
Just to give Richie a chance, I left it.
Oh, wow. Is that true or hindi mo rin alam? But actually, you matched here, Attorney Raymond, because you put air up and then you took it out and then it's suddenly none. But would you have been, is that, okay, second to your answer na none, was the case of air up one thing that you were most proud of?
Well, it was the first impeachment trial in the Philippines, and a lot of people learned from it. Even in the second impeachment, no, you will notice na suddenly the rules were a lot stricter. The evidence that was being presented was all in accordance with the rules on impeachment. Nung ERAP trial, it was freewheeling. It was throw everything out the window. No, I mean, if you take a look at the progress of that case, we had several motions where we objected on certain things, and ang parating sagot kung totoo naman yan, bakit nyo pinipigilan? No? Including the second envelope issue. It was legally, we were correct on it, and yet, the public reacted so badly about it.
Yes, I remember that. That was really, I think, what caused people to go to EDSA eventually
Right.
after that ruling on the second envelope. And you were the youngest
I was the youngest in the defense team. Yes.
Again, it just reminds me of my experience in the in the impeachment as well. I was the youngest in the defense team as well at that time.
I think yun
and you
yata
were
yun
also
eh.
the spokesperson.
That's right. Oo, kasi I think we're considered as the sacrificial lambs, no? 'Di ba? Kasi ikaw yung pinakabata eh. So, hindi, sige na lang, if your career is gonna be destroyed, total ikaw na yung
Oo
pinakabata.
nga, no?
Okay lang eh.
That makes a lot of sense because when I
Oo.
said yes to being part of the defense team, I was thinking, I'm sure behind the scenes ako niyan, taga-draft, taga-research. And then when they started asking me, ikaw na yung sumagot dyan, ikaw yung mag-spokesperson, ba't ako? But that makes a lot of sense. Niisip
Yeah.
nila, bata pa kayo, wala yung career mo, okay wala na.
Okay pa, kayang pa kami, hindi, matanda na kami. No, okay na.
Oo nga, tsaka pagka nasira yung career mo, okay lang, bata ka pa naman, just start all over again.
I'd like to explain the non here.
Yes.
No, because I'm not proud, quote-unquote, of the cases that I handle. All of them are important for me. I treat all of my cases equally. Kung kilala ka o hindi ka kilala, kung may pera ka, kaya hindi. No? Ako, I value all of my clients equally, 110%. So, I don't feel proud of winning because the truth is kaya ka nga kinuha ang abogado to win it eh. So, I'm not particularly proud if I do something, because that's what's expected of me.
Again, you go back to the code of professional responsibility
Yes.
that you have to represent people when they ask you to. And that goes also to, I guess, the question of a lot of people perhaps wonder why you agree to represent people that tend to be also unpopular at times. Like, you've represented popular people that people love, but then also people that hate at the point that they have a case against them.
Yeah,
So,
nung impeachment ni ERAP, 90% of the Filipinos polled said that they wanted ERAP removed and probably convicted. By the time that the decision was about to come out, there was another poll. 70% said he should be set free. So for me, it's actually just trying to do my best to try to change public perception, but also to be able to present the evidence needed in order to prove to the court that the person should be set free.
So it never bothers you when your client is so unpopular that you tend to be also disliked by the public?
That comes with the job eh. No? Kasi wala eh. No? Yung mga abogado, you're going to be pulled in regardless of what, well, depending on how the public perceives a particular person, you're going to be pulled in the same manner. So, but what do? One of the things in Opus Dei, you're asked, are you influenced by what other people might think or say about you? And the answer should be no. No, because you should live by your convictions, your own morals, your own belief about a particular truth or not.
Well, for your sons, Rowie and Richie, have you ever been bullied or bashed because of some case that your father is handling?
Not to my recollection, personally.
What about you, Richie?
No, I haven't. Luckily, I haven't encountered anything like that.
And sometimes do you worry for your father when he's handling a big case that, of course, is subject to either negative public perception or criticisms?
Well, it crosses my mind at least, although I'm sure he can handle himself.
You've never tried to convince him na, Dad, wag mo nang tanggapin yung kaso na yan. Wala pang ganon, ever.
No. Well, as I was growing up, I noticed that he was always taking in these high-profile cases, and the more I grow up, the more I realized that he can handle it himself. He knows how to navigate through the environment.
So what was it like growing up with your father and also a mother who's also a lawyer? Pareho ba silang strict or sino ang mas strict sa kanila?
My mom is the more strict among the two.
I will agree with that.
And who convinced you to be lawyers?
Okay.
If anyone, it would be mostly my mom. She'd say that, oh, you already have a law firm, you already have, I already have a path ahead for you. But my dad, he would say that he would want us to choose to be whoever that we feel like we want to be. And it just so happens that we both decided to be lawyers.
So hindi naman sa pilitan. But do you have a law firm right now?
Yes,
With
I
your
do.
wife?
Yes. No, my wife actually is not a lawyer.
Okay.
But she's my boss.
Okay, so your wife is not a lawyer.
No, she used to work in a bank. Tapos when I set up my own law office, she said that she would be handling the finances and the admin side of the business.
Okay, so I was under the impression that your wife was also a lawyer. So hindi pala siya lawyer, but she does the business side.
Yes.
And the Fortun law firm is with who?
Right now, I have 5 other partners. Started by myself way back in 2004. And as the years progressed, I got people who I had worked with within the ranks, and I promoted them.
Why did you not put up a law firm with your brother, who's also a lawyer?
We used to work together, but things did not work out.
So magkaiba na kayo ng law firm now?
Yeah, I think he's already retired. No, but I worked with him for 10 years.
Wow.
Even during the impeachment, we were in the same law office. Kaya nga, actually, doon nakilala yung Fortun brothers. Pero after the impeachment, in 2004, I decided to go on my own.
Who would you say objectively brought fame to the Fortun surname in relation to law? Was it you or your brother?
My father, maybe.
Your father?
Yes, he was a judge, and I will always look up to him.
And among you, will you be working with your father in his law firm?
We're actually already working in the law firm. When people would ask why we're working there, I would always say that we have no choice.
No choice ba? Okay, so hindi.
Totoo yan.
Oo,
Totoo yan.
so ngayon hindi na Fortun Brothers, Fortun and Sons na. And what is your father like as a boss? Naku, baka mamay sabihin nila, teka lang, baka mawalan ako ng bonus pag sinabi. Kasi sabi ko yung totoong sagot. Okay, what is it like?
Okay, well, he's a guiding figure.
Is he tough as a boss?
Yes, of course. He's very strict on us, but of course, he wants us to look up to him and learn from him. Not necessarily copy, but to develop our own styles, depending on what we can learn from him.
Richie, is your father a slave driver?
Since I just recently passed the bar, I just started working this year. And the few encounters that I've had with him, he has been giving me cases that have short deadlines, upcoming deadlines. In just a week, I have to file cases instantly. And not necessarily, it's within reason, at least.
And Richie said earlier that it was actually their mom that convinced them to be lawyers. Attorney Raymond, why were you not convincing them to be lawyers?
I felt that the pressure on them during law school would be greater. You know, that's the problem with yung known surnames. Always yan, first day of class, they'd announce who are the people enrolled, and they would always take a look at the name. Fortun, how are you related to the Fortun brothers? So how are you related to, or your father is which Fortun? Yun ang tanong. And there will always be an expectation attached to the name. I actually experienced that, even in law school. Kasi at the time when I was in law school, my father was an RTC judge of Quezon City. And dun sa Diliman, of course, obviously, kilala nila kung sino si Judge Fortun. Their expectation is so much greater. I had a sister who graduated number 6 in the UP class 1981. I had a brother who was also already known. Both of them kilala nung lahat ng mga professors. And I would always be asked ganito. One time in criminal law, the professor asked me a question and I botched it. And the Professor Ambion.
Yes, Ambion.
Okay.
He was also my mom's professor
Right.
in criminal law.
And Professor Ambion went, he would say PI.
Yes,
That's what he's known for, no? PI. Your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, they all were under me. And you're the worst. Alam mo, talaga gusto mong kainin ka ng lupa at that time. And at that time, 2 sections kami na magkaharap na ganon. It was so embarrassing. But you learn from that. You learn resiliency.
Yes.
You learn that not to be fazed by something negative and to fight through it. And for me, that actually lives up in me right now. That no matter what happens, I'm going to fight for it.
Did you ever experience that type of pressure? Because you did end up going to law school in the same law school as your dad.
Yes. Actually, several of my professors, they did not ask about my father. They actually asked about his sister because they were classmates of our tita.
Oh, by the time you had professors, naging classmate na ng tita nyo. And for you, Richie, same experience?
On my end, I've had some professors that would either have been also from CSIP and they have worked with my dad, or they were classmates of our cousin.
Did you find that gave you an advantage or disadvantage? Did they give you a harder time?
On my side, no. It wasn't as harsh as it was back during my dad's time, but there was an underlying expectation.
Okay. So objectively now, out of the 3 of you, sinong pinaka mataas ang grade sa law school? I'm so curious. Just out among the 3 of you. Oh wow,
no,
and the consensus Wow, congratulations, Attorney
He was
Richie.
in the, ano nga ba yun?
No, I was.
The exemplary list.
So which one?
The exemplary list.
Oh, Dean's Medal of
No,
Excellence?
no, 2022, remember, they had this categories, wherein the top 20, I think, were that, and then they had this exemplary list, I think probably the next 5%.
This is in the bar exam. Ay, interesting.
Yeah.
So,
Pero kung yung dun sa, if you're talking about sa undergrad, I'm sorry, sa law school, yung grade sa law school, ako yata eh. Di ba?
you have the highest grades.
OPF ako eh. I was in the Order of the Purple Feather.
Okay, wonderful. But among your 2 siblings, ikaw rin yung highest grades.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. See, you ended up exceeding them. Oh, so okay lang yung pressure. Okay, now, just on a more personal level, we'll also get to know Rowie and Richie. We'll mention 2 choices. Just pick one and no need to explain your answers, okay? So, you'll all write down your answers here. Sige, since
Sila
we're
ba?
running out of time, sabihin nyo na lang, okay? Cats or dogs? Very quickly.
Okay.
Cats.
Dogs.
Dogs.
We have one cat lover here. Corporate lawyer or litigator?
Litigator.
Litigator.
Wow, we have a family of litigators. Black or white?
Black.
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 Galing. Millennial or Gen Z?
Millennial.
Millennial.
Are you all millennials?
No.
Gen Z na. Oo nga, si Richie, Gen Z. Shopping or saving?
Shopping.
Saving.
Shopping.
O si Richie yung naiiba sa inyo. Si Roe yung naiiba dito. Photography or videography?
Photography.
Photography.
Wow, so much similarities. Video games or board games?
Board games.
Video game.
Video games.
Adobo or sinigang?
Sinigang.
Adobo.
Adobo.
Which for you is the most beautiful place in the Philippines?
Philippines.
Home.
Cebu.
My girlfriend's home.
Hoy!
What
Hoy.
is your favorite country outside of the Philippines?
I enjoyed London.
Yeah, the UK.
UK.
Venice.
Venice. So Italy. And we'll have you complete a sentence. For Richie, I chose to be a lawyer because...
I chose to be a lawyer because I enjoyed serving. I liked serving.
And for Attorney Roe, the justice system of the Philippines is
Just.
just. Okay, so you believe it is just and fair.
At least it approximates it.
Attorney Fortun, you can be a saint in the middle of the world by blank.
Following the teachings of Jesus Christ. Simple as that. No, we can all be saints, regardless of whether you're a mere street sweeper or a painter or just a clerk in a government office. It's living by the truth and having that truth and the joy of the Lord in your heart.
Very well said. And we'll end on that note because that's such a good message. But it was really a pleasure getting to know now the Fortun father and sons. And good luck in your legal careers.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Attorney Karen. Thank you.
We have witnessed Attorney Raymond Fortun's long-celebrated career in the legal world. And at 60 years old, he's not stopping anytime soon. Because the mark of success for Attorney Raymond is when he sees his two sons, Attorney Roe and Attorney Richie, blaze paths of their own in the field where their family built a name synonymous to legal excellence. Be timely informed, be insightful of the news. Always stay at the forefront. Join us again tomorrow for meaningful conversations that will help you form an objective personal opinion. This is Attorney Karen Jimeno. Thank you for spending your hour with us.